Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John McCarthy, and I'm just so happy to welcome you to our coverage of this event on the TGC network. And we are just about ready, folks, to get underway. First round action is coming at you now. Let's get down to that first tee. And with that, I declare this event has begun. Okay, this one's looking pretty good. Okay, and from 125 yards out. Yeah, I think you'll like that. And this for the birdie. And starting the round off with a par. And now the second hole tee off. Very nice sand shot, and I'm thinking that a birdie is definitely on the table. Oh, that was close. And after that one, he'll stay at even par. Now this shot is above the hole. Let's see how they compensate. And here's an 8-iron. All right, and now he's on. And about 5 feet from the cup. For the birdie. And 1 under for the day after that hole. All right, here's the 4th hole. Well, I'm pretty sure this is going to land in the fairway here. From 250 yards out. And this is not going to be enjoyable. That was a fantastic shot out of the sand, and I am thinking birdie for sure. Oh, and it just didn't drop. And this for the par. And they will stay in second place after that hole. Okay, and here is the 5th hole. Well, so far so good for this one. And about 190 yards to the pin. I think that's a 5-iron. From 20 feet out. Oh, and the long putt doesn't want to drop. Okay, and now let's take a peek and see what's happening on the leaderboard. And after that hole, staying fast in the second place on the leaderboard. Well, this one's looking pretty good. And from 165 yards out. Going with the 8-iron. And that next putt is going to be an epic one, that's for sure, but they're on the green. Ooh, and it just misses. And this one's about 6 feet away. And the par putt will drop. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. And now setting up on this par 3. That looks like the hybrid. And that one's going to miss the green. Not enough club on that one. And about 7 feet to go here. And that putt will drop. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. Okay, we find ourselves now on the 8th hole tee off. And this shot he's taken through the branches. And he's got to be happy with that. And 180 yards out. And here's the 6-iron. I think he'll like that. And this putt's for birdie. And for the par. And a nice putt. And after that hole, staying right there in second place. And a promising looking shot here. And let's see how this one goes. They're setting up below the hole. Very well played golf shot. Hitting this par 5 and 2, it's going to set up some serious possibilities. Just missing on the eagle. That really could have helped things here. Okay, and still holding steady in second place after that hole. I don't think he'll be too pleased with that shot. Now let's see what can be done here with this lie. This one's a toss-up. Let's see where this one will land. I think this is going towards the rough here, folks. Setting up for a 40-foot putt. Ooh, unfortunate. And this putt is for bogey. And a decent putt. And after that hole, nothing changes in the standings for them. Still in second place. And I'm not quite sure where this one's going to end up. And this one's heading towards the green. All right, and he's on the green. This one's about 9 feet away. For the birdie. And currently sitting at 2 under for the day. And teeing off on this par 4. And I don't think this one's going to pan out. Now let's see what happens out of this fairway bunker. And this one's for birdie. And about 4 feet from the cup. And finishing this hole out with a solid putt. And they will stay in second place after that hole. All right, let's see what happens on the 13th hole here. Oh, I think this one's going to find short grass. And it looks like it's going into the deep stuff. And I think he's going to like that. 5 feet to go here. And that one goes for birdie. And after that hole, staying fast in the second place on the leaderboard. Going with the 9-iron here. And with that, he will be putting. And this putt is for birdie. And a nice putt there. And after that hole, staying right there in second place. Well, this one's looking like it's in the fairway. And from 155 yards out. It looks like a 7-iron. And heading for the green. And that shot will be on the green with a fairly lengthy putt ahead. For the bird. And after that one, 5 under par for the day. And now teeing off on this par 4. Wow, there is some serious power behind this drive, folks. And about 225 to go. Going with the 5-wood. Pretty sure he's going to like that one. 14 feet away. And that one will drop for birdie. And sitting at 6 under for the day after that hole. Okay, and setting up on the 17th tee. And that approach is on the green with some distance left. And this putt is for par. Finishing this hole with a solid putt. Okay, and still holding steady in second place after that hole. And as he tees off on the 18th, he is just one stroke off the lead. It's looking like it's heading into the fairway. And about 210 to the pin from here. Going with the 5-wood here. And he's in the short stuff now. And this one's for birdie. And that one will drop. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are ready for the golf. I'm so glad you could join us for this event presented by the TGC Network. We are happy to be back at this fourth event of the season. Let's get down to that first tee, see how this shapes up. From 130 yards. Going with the pitching wedge here. And this is looking a bit long, I think. Well, it turns out that one's safely on. And about 9 feet to go here. Ooh. And this one's for par. And that one will drop. And starting the round off with a par. Not bad. I think this one's going bunker, guaranteed. This one's about 3 feet away. And currently sitting at 1 under for the day. And this next shot is sitting above the hole, so we'll see what happens here. Going with the 8-iron here. And I think he will be happy with that. And this one's for birdie. This one's about 3 feet from the cup. Currently sitting at 1 under for the day and teeing off on this next hole. Wind could be an issue on this one. And, well, I guess we're about to find out. And this shot's looking promising. And about 235 yards to go. And that is some fantastic club work on this par 5 green, hitting it in 2. And this putt is for birdie. Ooh, that one's, that's too bad. And unfortunately, that has rolled off the green. Oh my! And the par putt will drop. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. And now setting up for the par 4 tee off. Yeah, this is looking fairway bound. And about 175 yards to the pin. And here's an 8 iron. He's got to be pleased with that. 36 feet to go. And tapping in for par. And 1 under for the day after that hole. And now the 6th hole. And he can't be pleased with himself after that one. And this to save par. And that one's right in the cup. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. Okay, and let's see what the 7th has in store. And he's on the green. This one's about a 7-footer. And that one goes in for the bird. And sitting at 2 under for the day. And the 8th hole is next. I think he'll be happy with that. And about 180 yards to the pin. Going with the 6 iron. And nothing to write home about on that approach shot. And that's a bit out of character today. This round he's been pretty good for his greens in regulation. From 18 feet. Oh, and I thought that was going to go. And this one's for the bogey. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. And on to the 9th hole. It appears to be heading for the fairway here. And this next shot, setting up below the hole. Okay, and hitting this par 5 and 2. That's some fine club work out there. And, well, that's too bad. That's gone off the green. This putt's about 5 feet from the cup. And that putt will go for par. And currently sitting at 1 under for the day. And let's see what the 10th has in store. This one's looking pretty good so far. And from here, about 210 yards to the pin. I think that's the hybrid. Very well played, and hitting this par 5 and 2 is going to set up some nice eagle opportunities here. And this for the birdie. So close. This putt's about a 2-footer. Currently sitting at 1 under for the day. Okay, now moving on to the 11th. Well, this one could be either way, folks. I'm not sure if it's going to be safe or not. Going with the 8-iron. Looks like this is going a bit long. And not the best approach shot we've seen today. A bit too much club on that one. And this putt is essential for saving par. Ooh, that was very close. This one looks about 4 feet. And that will be for bogey. And after that hole, he will go up to even par. And now we find ourselves on the 12th. And he's probably not too happy about that one. All right, now let's see what happens out of this bunker. And they're about 3 feet away here. And that putt will drop for par. And he's going to stay right where he is, even par after that one. And now the 13th hole. Yeah, I think this one's going to find the fairway. Uh-oh, this is not going to be good. Very nice shot out of the bunker, and I'm thinking birdie is very possible here. And that'll drop for birdie. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. Here's a 9-iron. This could be good. It's heading for the green here. This putt's for birdie. Ooh, just missing here. And this putt is for par. And 1 under for the day after that hole. And next up is a par 4, folks. And that's a decent shot into the fairway with the green within reach. Let's see what happens. And about 4 feet from the cup. And that one's going to go for par. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. And now setting up for the next par 4 hole. I think we'll find some fairway here. And about 215 yards away. And here's a hybrid shot. And 35 feet to go. Ooh. This putt's about 3 feet away. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. And now setting up on this par 3. And going with the 6 iron. This is heading towards the green. And this putt's for birdie. And after that hole, 2 under. And picking up on the 18th hole action here. Let's see what happens. Well, this one's looking like it's finding the fairway. And about 175 yards away here. And looks like a 6 iron. And this putt is for birdie. Ooh, and that was very close. And this for the par. And finishing the hole with a solid putt. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John McCarthy, and I'm giving you all of the welcomes for joining us today here at this event brought to you by the TGC Network. 3rd round action, folks. Hope you're excited, because we definitely are. And we're down on that first hole tee to see how this unfolds. And about 155 yards out. And he may have overshot the green on this one. Oh, a bit too much club on the 6 iron here. And starting the round off at even par. now let's see what this second hole has in store. This one's going in the bunker. Now let's see what the plan is here from the bunker. And this is about a 4-footer. And that putt will drop for birdie. And currently sitting at 1 under for the day. Now let's see what this third hole has in store. That looks like a 5-iron. From here, about 21 feet. And right into the cup. And after that one, 2 under for the day. And now the 4th hole. From 245 yards to the pin. Oh, this is a tough call. Could be rough, could be fairway. And this putt's for birdie. And finishing this one with a good putt. And today currently sitting at 3 under par. And now setting up for the par 4. And some serious power involved in a drive like this. From here about 230 to the pin. Going with the 3-wood. And I don't think that was the intended result for that approach shot. It seems to me the wind might have gotten a hold of that approach shot. And if this putt drops, they can save par. And 3 under for the day after that one. And teeing off on this next hole, the wind could come into play. Let's find out. And nicely done, looking like we'll have some fairway here. Okay, and from 150 yards out. Taking a shot with the pitching wedge. And he's probably going to like that. 15 feet away here. And that one drops for the birdie. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. The next hole we have before us is a par 3. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it looks like a 5-iron. And I am pretty sure he's going to like that. This one's about 2 feet from the cup. after that one, 4 under is the score for the day. Well, this one's debatable. Could be rough, could be fairway. And after that one, the ball's in the fairway and the green is in play. And this putt is needed to save par. And that one will drop. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. And now setting up for this par 5. I think you'll like that. And about 210 to the pin. And not the greatest of swings on that approach shot. Not enough club on that one. And this is for birdie. And that one will drop. Okay, and the 10th hole. And look at this drive. Go! Going for days. And about 11 feet to go here. And that one will go for birdie. And after that one, there's 6 under for the day. And moving on to the 11th hole. And it's looking like this is bound for the short stuff. 125 yards to go here. And pretty sure he's going to like that. And this for the birdie. This one's about 2 feet from the cup. And after that hole, 6 under for the day. And moving along now on the 12th hole. And this one's questionable as to where it's going to end up. From 145 yards out. Here is the pitching wedge. Well, you'll probably like that. And about 29 feet to the cup. And for the par. And finishing the hole with a solid putt. And there's 6 under on the day after that hole. And next up we have a par 5 hole. Well, so far so good for this one. Well, I'm not quite sure where this one's going to end up. Very nice sand play there. I think birdie is definitely on the table for the birdie. And currently sitting at 7 under par for the day. And setting up now on the 14th tee. I think this is looking a bit long, and I think he will be pleased with that. And this putt is for birdie. And the long putt will drop. Very nice stroke on that one. And after that hole, currently sitting at 8 under. And a promising looking shot here. And this next shot setting up significantly below the hole. And going with the 7-iron on this one. That's just poor luck on that approach. Too much club. And this putt to save par. Oh my goodness, that was close. And this putt's about 3 feet away. And that'll be for the bogey. And he is just really stacking the birdies here today on the scorecard. Well, this one's looking pretty good. Okay, and about 205 yards to the pin. And he will like that. And this for the birdie. Oh, that was so close. And about 7 feet to go here. And that one drops for par. And they're 7 under par for the round after that hole. And let's see what the 17th has in store. Going with the 9-iron. Unlucky on that approach shot. Not enough club on that one. And to save the par. And that putt drops. And they are sitting at 7 under par for the event. And moving on to the 18th hole. Well, this one's looking like it's in the fairway. Now that shot actually ended up in the rough. Okay, that shot's back in the fairway, and the green is within reach. Let's see what happens. And this putt's right around 2 feet. Hello and welcome to One and All. My name is John McCarthy, and I couldn't be happier that you chose to join us for this event here on the TGC Network. We are just about ready to kick things off here in this final round of the event. Let's go down to that first tee off and take it from there. And he did pretty well in his last round. We're going to see how well he can do here today. And I think he'll like that. And 110 yards or so to the pin. This one's looking a bit long, folks. And not the intended result, I'm sure, on that approach shot. Too much club on that, I think. And starting the day at 1 over par. And teeing off on this par 4. It's looking like it's heading into the fairway. And just to correct myself here, that one actually ended up in the beach. Setting up about 12 feet away. And that one goes for birdie. And that hole will bring him down to even par. And now let us see what the third hole has in store. And going with the 9-iron. And that approach is on the green, but quite lengthy putt ahead. Ooh, and just inches away from greatness. And this putt's for par. Solid putt. And after that hole, he will stay at even par. And now teeing off on the par 5. And I think he's going to like that. And about 230 yards to the pin. Well, I don't think this is going to be a happy ending, folks. And that couldn't have been the intended result on that approach. And I would wager the wind had something to do with that. Very nice sand shot. I think that a birdie is quite likely here. For the birdie. Currently sitting at 1 under for the day. And now teeing off on this par 4. And he'll be happy with that. From here, about 190 yards. Looks like a 7-iron. And that approach is on the green. And a lengthy putt in the near future. Oh, and a solid attempt at a long putt. Just doesn't want to drop. And it's time to take a peek at the leaderboard. And after that hole, 1 under for the day. and nothing wrong with that shot. And about 170 yards to the pin. And here's the 6-iron. "31 feet to the cup." Very nicely done. Long putt right into the cup. And after that one, sitting at 2 under for the day. 3-wood in action here. "40 long feet to the cup from here." And this for the par. And 2 under for the day after that one. And now setting up for the par 4 tee off. Well, I think this one's going to find the short grass. Well, I didn't see that landing in the rough, that's for sure. And to save par. Nice little putt. And after that one, currently sitting at 2 under for the day. Okay, and on to the 9th. And he's probably not happy about that shot. And that shot's back into the short stuff from 115 yards out. Going with the 9-iron here. I think this might be a bit long. Well, the approach did find the green, but quite a long distance putt ahead. Ooh, I thought that was going to go. Yes, about 3 feet to the cup from here. And sitting at 2 under for the day. And on to the 10th hole here. And just launched this drive. Okay, about 185 yards to the pin. And going with the 7-iron on this one. And might be going into sand here. And now from the sand. And I think he will like that. And this one's for birdie. And after that hole, 3 under on the day. And the wind definitely could be a factor on this one. Let's see how this tee shot goes. Oh, well, this is an insanely powerful drive off the tee here, folks. One's looking pretty good. Nice shot. I think you'll like that. And about 10 feet to go here. For the bird. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. And let's see what the 12th has in store. It appears to be heading for the fairway here. And about 170 yards to the pin. Looks like a 7-iron. Poor luck on that approach shot. Not enough club on that one, unfortunately. This putt's about 7 feet to the cup. And a good putt. And after that one, 4 under is the score for the day. Wow, look at this drive, folks. Serious power. And nothing wrong with that shot. And this putt is for birdie. And the putt will drop. And after that one, 5 under for the day. And setting up for the par 3 hole. Going with the 5-iron here. I think this shot might be a bit long. And I think that one will play on the green. Ooh, and it just misses. It's about 6 feet to go here. Ooh, it looked close. Just didn't go. And this for the bogey. And a decent little putt there. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. And moving on to the 15th here. And this is looking fairway bound. And from 165 yards. Looks like the hybrid is on display here. And that approach is safely on the green, but a whole lot of work to do for that next putt. Oh my goodness, close, very close, but no cigar. And this putt's for par. And a nice putt. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. And next up is a par 4, folks. Okay, this one's looking pretty good. From 225 yards. Pretty sure that's the 5 wood. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a poor approach. And that's not been the trend today. He has been pretty good in the area of greens and regulation today. And par is very much within reach after that one. This putt's right around a 9-footer. And that one drops for par. And after that one, 4 under is the score for the day. I think that's a 5-iron. And I think he will like that. And setting up 13 feet from the cup here. Oh, that was very close. And tapping it in for the par. And currently sitting at 4 under for the day. And now teeing up for the final hole of the round. This one's looking pretty good so far. From 185 yards. Going with the 6-iron. And that approach has found the green, but there will be a lot of work to do to sink the next putt. And oh my, what a putt that was. Very long putt right into the cup.